want to welcome everybody to the Fall 2022 First Look. We've got obviously some exciting companies that rounded out our 35 investments last year in Jumpstart Foundry's fund. So this is always a highlight for us. We get 2 really awesome days of the year to kind of showcase and allow our founders to come and tell their story. Lots and lots of work goes into not just raising a fund, finding great companies, investing in those great companies, and getting them launched in the program. So today is really the culmination of a lot of months and a lot of effort, and certainly with our founders, lots of years of kind of grind and grunt to be able to kind of tell their story. So today is a wonderful opportunity for us to showcase the 17 investments in the fall cohort for last year. Excited, they've got some great slides, and we'll kind of walk through this. We've got a couple of hours blocked out, and excited for the diversity of not just our founders, but also the audience that's joining us today to hear more about our latest round of investments. So hope you want to go to the next slide. I want to just kind of walk through a bit of introduction of who we are, who I am, and who the team is, and a little bit about Foundry. So I'll just spend 5 or so minutes, and then we're going to jump kind of pretty quickly into the presentations and the pitches from our founders. So Jumpstart Foundry, we are one of the nation's leading health innovation funds. We are a pre-seed stage fund. This is one of the fund brands of the Jumpstart Health Investors parent company, alongside our other venture fund brands, Jumpstart Nova and Jumpstart Capital. Jumpstart Nova, we are now in 2023 in our Fund 9. So the cohort here rounds out our Fund 8 investments. So excited to be able to bring to you today kind of the last of the 35 investments that we made last year. So joining us today are folks that are either historical founders, maybe mentors, vendors, partners, supporters, as well as investors and prospective investors that are considering Jumpstart Foundry as an investment. We certainly have lots and lots of deal flow. What we're looking at today is the recipient of 17 investments, looking at upwards of a couple hundred companies to get there. So we're looking at the 2023 fund now. Our application window is open. We're seeing lots of interesting innovations come through and applying for funding. Some of those might be on the call and joining us today to hear a little bit more about how it works, who we are, and hear from some of those that have actually received investment from us. That application window is currently open. It'll close this next month on the 24th. And so we're excited to be able to do that. Just as a reminder, we do a standard $150K investment. With that investment, you get all the access to Jumpstart Insight, which is our founder partner program. So there's lots and lots of opportunity there. And if you're interested, you can, there'll be information in the links in the chat to be able to apply or ask questions and go to the information to learn more about funding from Jumpstart Foundry. The second piece that I wanted to highlight is obviously we're always looking for investment in the fund. Our goal this year is to continue the growth of the Foundry Fund year over year. We put a target to invest in 40 great healthcare innovations in the US this year. And so our investment window for the 2023 fund is still open. We've done a few kind of interesting things this year to really make access to venture easier in terms of reducing the minimum level of investment for the fund. At one point it was 100,000, now it's down to 25,000 because we're trying to give more people access to invest in venture and certainly this innovative fund. So it's certainly an opportunity to diversify your investments and spread that risk across what will be in this year's 40 investments. And in addition to the first thing, one of the first times in our history, we also now offer syndicate deals. Syndicate deals meaning when one of our founders, who you'll hear today at some point, will be raising additional capital, and we got first line of opportunity to also participate those and syndicate those deals out to our investors. So we've now got a program designed for that. So that's a win-win-win for not just our founders, but investors who are interested in specific businesses as well. I am going to flip the switch. We're going to start the presentations of our pitches. And to kick us off is going to be Frank Adama with Add Your Labs. So Frank, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Doug. Hello, and good afternoon. My name is Frank Adamo, and I'm the founder and CEO of Azure Labs. We are building the next generation of software solutions exclusively for clinical laboratories. Clinical lab testing is critical to our healthcare for two reasons. One, lab testing is the single highest volume medical activity in the US, with 14 billion lab tests being performed each year. And second, 70% of all medical decisions depend on lab test results. To quote Dr. Rodney Rohde, a professor of clinical laboratory science at Texas State University, who told Forbes, simply put, every time you enter a hospital or healthcare facility for care, your life is in the hands of a medical laboratory professional. The problem faced by clinical labs is that of employee burnout due to severe staffing shortages. A recent survey found that over 85% of lab professionals are facing burnout. Our innovative software solutions takes the burden off the lab worker while improving the lab's efficiency and productivity by enhancing automation, interoperability, and customization, all within the same system to better fit the lab's specific needs. We are very proud of our accomplishments to date, which include launching our MVP just 4 months after being founded while in the face of the pandemic, earning lifetime revenue of $465,000 and raising $500,000 to date. We are currently raising a $1 million round and are looking for help to build our team, including advisors, support of our new pilot, commercializing version 2 of our product, and customer acquisition. We are excited to be part of the JSF family and hope that you get excited about what we are doing. Please join us in our breakout room to learn more about Azure Labs. Thank you.
Awesome job, Frank, and we're excited to have you as well. Great job. All right, Conti with Barabil, you're on. Conti, you might be muted.
Hi, I'm Conti Sankawali with Barabil. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Barabil, and I have decades of experience in healthcare and with healthcare startups. So how many of you have been to the hospital for some type of minor procedure only to come back with a stack of bills amounting to thousands of dollars? We need a better balance between quality and cost. Simply put, we need equitable cost for equitable care. The recently passed Healthcare Transparency Act aims to fix that. Unfortunately, the data is simply not usable. Thank you. Barabil is the solution. Our AI platform utilizes machine learning algorithms to analyze our internal healthcare pricing transparency database, where we compare billions of prices across different insurance and healthcare providers. Simply, we give you prices to make informed decisions. Next slide. In addition to consumers, Barabil services to two distinct business segments. One is enterprises looking to make informed decisions about employee healthcare benefits to save hundreds of thousands of dollars. Second is political and patient advocacy groups aiming to improve patient rights and health equity. After finishing our proof of concept and our first version of our platform as a generator studio company and starting here as Jumpstart Foundry, we have focused on cost-saving efficiencies and have reduced our burn rate by over 50%. Additionally, we have shifted heavily towards creation of pilots and revenue channel business development. So far, we have had multiple discussions with several governmental members and lobbyists about leveraging our platform in several unique and exciting ways. Lastly, this week, we completed initial discussions with the head of a procurement for a 1,000 employee oil and gas development corporation. He has shown very positive interest in showing enterprise-wide pilot projects in the organization. Our team consists of experienced professionals in the healthcare industry, technology, military, government sectors. We're actively talking to investors, and we welcome the opportunity to work with you and invite you to join us on this exciting journey. Be it support through introductions, investment, together we can create a better healthcare system for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Conti. Good job. Next up is Ellie Gordon with Behavior. Ellie, you're on.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ellie Gordon, the founder and CEO of Behavior. And last year, 275 people died every single day from drug overdoses. with higher than ever annual deaths exceeding 100,000. As the leading cause of accidental death, the annual cost of addiction is $800 billion in the US alone, and current treatment models are reactive, inefficient, and expensive. Meet Recovery, a guardian angel on your wrist. Healthcare providers and payers can use recovery to know in advance when someone in mental health or addiction recovery is in a high-risk state and vulnerable to a crisis event, such as opioid return to use. Behavior uses advanced AI, behavioral health tech, and wearables, such as a smartwatch, to collect biometrics, provide proactive interventions, and more to keep people on track. We reduce gaps in care when crisis events are most likely to occur and support care providers with retention and patient risk. We're partnered with the VA on a 3-year project, have 2 ongoing pilots and more in the pipeline, conducted NIH-funded clinical studies, NSF-funded R&D, received 3 SBIR awards and other grants and investments, including from Jumpstart Foundry and the RK Mellon Foundation. And we were finalists for Tech 50. Behavior is also a recipient of the Carnegie Science Award, and it was recently featured as a new generation tech entrepreneur by the Pittsburgh Tech Council. We are seeking introductions to customers, funding, and strategic partners. We're also seeking safe note investments to fund sales and marketing support, and we're open and willing to be creative in terms of partnership and marketing opportunities. So please reach out. Within 3 years, we endeavor to be the leading addiction and mental health recovery support platform. With your investment, we will be positively impacting at least 5 million lives. Thank you.
Great job, Ellie. Thank you so much. All right, Zach, you are up with Care Crown.
All right, thank you. All right, so today, America has a public health crisis on its hands. And no, I'm not talking about another pandemic. I'm talking about the critical shortage of healthcare workers that's estimated to reach 3.2 million by 2026. Now, my name is Zach, and I'm the co-founder of Care Crown. And this is a SaaS platform that uses game theory to solve one of the biggest challenges in home healthcare: recruiting and retaining professional caregivers. Now, despite record demand for in-home care, providers are turning away $15 billion worth of business because of staffing shortages, high turnover rates, and employee absenteeism. Now, we know what this is like to deal with. My co-founder, Elizabeth Moss, ran her own home care company for 25 years, and she experienced firsthand the pressure that this put on her business. And so this is exactly why we built Care Crown, because we believe that properly motivating employees is the key to unlocking better performance and retention. Now, our technology combines proven game mechanics with real-time recognition and rewards to keep employees satisfied, engaged, and retained. Now, the market seems ready for this innovation, and just a few weeks ago, one of our customers told us that Care Crown will solve 80% of all the problems in their business. Now, last year, we completed a successful pilot test, and today we're onboarding 2 new customers and putting Care Crown in the hands of over 500 home care employees. Our sales pipeline is growing, and we're signing up new customers every month. So our next goal is to raise a round of seed funding to build our team and turn on the growth engine to capture market share. So my team and I are thrilled to solve this critical need. And with your help, I know that we can achieve great success. Thank you.
All right, great job, Zach. Okay, Clinispan, Desby, you are on.
I'm Desi McDaniel. I'm co-founder and CEO of Clinispan Health, a software and influencer platform for people of color to access clinical research. Next slide. So we have actually introduced influencer marketing to the clinical research industry. The reason is because the problem that we saw is there's around 40% people of color in the US, but the rate of inclusion for people of color in clinical studies is as little as 2 up to only 16%. The dire implications is that someone that looks like myself would take improper dosage amounts, see inadvertent side effects, and ultimately have a worse experience with medicine. Another part of that problem is doctors are going into communities that they're not from, and they don't look like the people there, and these people lack trust in what they're trying to tell them. That's where ClinSpan Health comes in. Because our influencers look like, sound like, walk like, talk like the people they're trying to reach, there's a lot more trust and effectiveness in the message. So that's where we start with our trusted influencers. They push content via their social media pages, primarily Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, to then have their followers sign up on our software platform. Once they're on the platform, they give us 3 pieces of data: the therapy areas of interest, their geography, and the current medicines they take. And we're able to then personalize our study suggestions to them based on that information. And that's step 3, where they're at that partner TLP or trial landing page. And this is where the revenue transaction happens, and where the volunteer has now gotten access to a study that they wouldn't have access to without the ClinSpan Health platform. Next slide, please. So some traction points for us. Our very first study in January of 2021, the Novavax COVID vaccine, they put their data out and reached 12% inclusion for African Americans, which is 4 times higher than the around 3% for African Americans. So our model is helping to create at least 3 times to 8 times more inclusionary studies across asthma, eczema, CMV, and many other areas. We've educated over 2 million people in underserved populations to date. We grew 350% on the revenue side in 2022, and 150% on the user acquisition side. Also recognized as one of the top 10 startups, tech startups to watch across the whole state of North Carolina. We're taking this momentum and trying to rocket ship it in 2023. What that consists of is our next steps: really establishing ourselves as a top thought leader in the diversity and clinical trial space, improving our product version 2 with a lot more automation features in there, and really building our reach to service larger customers like the Modernas and IQVIAs directly. We work with them indirectly through other service providers, but we want a direct relationship. It has a lot more upside value. That is where our ask comes to you all. We cannot do this without your help. Intros to patient diversity or patient engagement directors and managers at top sponsors and CROs will be huge for ClinSpan Health right now. So if you'd like to learn more, next slide, please do contact me at this information you see here. You also can jump in the breakout room, and I'll be happy to tell you more about ClinSpan Health and our story. Thank you so much to everyone, and especially for JSF.
All right. Next up, Ben Allen with Healthable. Ben?
Hey guys, I'm Ben Allen, the founder of Healthable. Maybe you're like us. Maybe you've experienced something like this too. You've built an amazing healthcare product. You see that your product can massively impact lives. And yet in this crowded, slow-moving healthcare world, it is often a huge lift to get what you've built in front of the right people at the right times. It is challenging to create trust and adoption. This is why we've built Healthable. We learned strategies that help appropriate product adoption from our years building and deploying digital therapeutics with United Health Group, large health systems, and public health departments. For the thousands of providers and decision makers we reach, Healthable is part education tool, part marketplace. We efficiently detail great healthcare products that can help patients, providers, and provider organizations, whether direct to consumer, reimbursable, or B2B health IT. With an earlier version, you can switch the slide, thank you. With an earlier version of the product, we've done about 77,000 in sales, and we've raised over 225,000. Now we have LOIs that represent about 200,000 in ARR, which can 4X in about Q4, and another 500,000 in the pipeline. We will launch the new version of our product in March to over 6,000 healthcare providers and decision makers. Now you can switch the slides. Our next big milestone is this. By the end of Q2, we'll close 150,000 in sales, add 30 products, and double our reach of providers and decision makers. To do this, we want your help. We welcome intros to companies with great healthcare products that can help patients, providers, and provider organizations. Help us fuel the healthcare revolution we know is out there. Thank you.
Awesome. Great job, Ben. Thank you so much. All right. Our next company is Hyper Innovation. Krishan couldn't be with us today, but he has actually put together a video. So we're going to do it a little unconventionally, and we're going to listen to the video from Krishan about Hyper Innovation. So go ahead, Hope, you want to play?
My name is Christian Suchdev. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Hyper Innovation. The why behind Hyper began 7 years ago when my cousin had an accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down. 3 years into this transition, and he had developed 3 recurrent pressure ulcers. And it was in that third instance where we began to realize that there must be something he's doing wrong. And we were wrong. This was just the way of life for wheelchair-bound patients. We would soon come to know that 2 out of every 3 wheelchair-bound patients in the United States develop an ulcer, with 1 out of every 4 developing multiple. Our solution is the Feather, the first smart, dynamic wheelchair cushion that is focused on preventing pressure ulcers. It uses a combination of software and hardware in order to achieve this goal. The software has a mobile application, a patient portal, as well as an algorithm, and the hardware is the wheelchair cushion you see on screen. Collectively, we're able to target high pressure areas and make sure that they go below a certain threshold to prevent pressure ulcer development. Now, where we are today is in 2021, we developed our alpha prototype, 2022, our beta prototype in conjunction with a manufacturer, and we also completed the production of our software. In 2022, later that year, we demonstrated efficacy of that product. And in June 2022, we actually acquired 100+ individuals on our wait list for the next round of testing. And we received interest from a Fortune 500 company to partner via acquisition as soon as development is completed. So right now we're raising $850,000 in order to complete our latest round of manufacturing in order to get us to market. And we are proud to say that we've raised $270,000 of that $850,000, one of which is from Jumpstart Foundry. Thank you very much for your time and support. We look forward to hearing from you. And if you have any questions, this is the best email to reach us. Thank you.
Awesome. Love what Hyper's building. Okay, next up is Todd Huber. Todd with Hush Biomed. Floor is yours.
Hi, thank you very much for your time and this opportunity to tell you about Hush Biomed. My name is Todd Huber. My partner, Sammy White, and I co-founded Hush Biomed, a company whose purpose is to bring to market a new and highly effective, proven solution for the millions of people suffering from tinnitus. Next slide, please. As an otolaryngologist and hearing instrument specialist, daily we see patients who are suffering from tinnitus, which is the abnormal perception of sound in one's own ears. It is commonly perceived as a high-pitched tone, hiss, or buzz. People routinely come to us for help for this condition, but we have been frustrated throughout our careers because there really are no effective options. Current approaches really revolve around lessening the burden of the tinnitus without actually being able to just turn it off. Hush Biomed was actually inspired by my dad, a tinnitus sufferer. Because of the big impact it has on him, I dove into the deep end of medical and neuroscience literature. What I found started our story. We're more than excited to bring to market the first effective solution for relief of tinnitus. It is a personal consumer electronic device that will offer customized short therapy sessions with our revolutionary patent pending technology. While other options can't even beat placebo, 98% of sufferers using our device have immediate relief of tinnitus, with over half having continued reduction or elimination of their symptoms greater than 24 hours later, all with just a single 2-minute session. This is huge. Next slide, please. Yeah. Hush Biomed insists on developing an outstanding product first. The science and outcomes are nailed down. All the branding is underway, excuse me, as is continued design work on the physical product. What are we seeking? Funding, of course. Second, we would greatly appreciate introductions to your networks of entrepreneurs with direct-to-consumer successes, as well as contacts in the world of consumer electronic device manufacturing. Next slide. And that's it. Thanks so much. We would love to hear from you.
Awesome. Great job, Todd. Thank you so much. Love the product. Okay, next up is mine, Lisa Flaherty. Lisa?
Good afternoon, JSF community. I think the best way to tell you about mine is to share our genesis. Currently in the $5 billion market, there's a commodity solution to a personal problem. Top clinics like Ortho Georgia share 3 challenges. First, staffing and supply chain shortages and declining reimbursement are squeezing clinical operations. They can't maintain large inventories or leave revenue on the table. Second, off-the-shelf devices don't fit most of their patients. Their patients are demanding personalized care and frictionless, sustainable solutions. And third, the digital transformation has forever changed the way we deliver and receive care. So since there's been bones, there's been bracing. Yet while anyone can use a new technology like a scan or a 3D print, the treatment plan is not built into the design. So I wondered, what if we could personalize spine and sports medicine bracing at scale? Next slide, please. Like Invisalign for your spine, Genesis synthesizes your complex body data into your very own Mind Medical wearable. Last year at Ortho Georgia, we eliminated care silos, inventory, and reduced clinical service time by 75%. Of the $3.5 million annual bracing revenue, the first three Mind SKUs, representing only 3% of their claims, generated $600,000, which was nearly 20% of the bracing revenue for the practice. Next slide, please. In service to our market-leading clinics, we've achieved $1 million run rate and have served over 1,000 patients. And right now we need $400,000 to onboard 6 additional clinics and launch our foot and ankle indications this year. Next slide, please. So please join us to modernize musculoskeletal injury recovery and simplify personalized care for everybody. Thank you.
Wow, awesome, Lisa. Great job. Great slides. Love the story. Okay, next up is Mary with My Smile Choices. Mary?
Hi, my name is Mary, founder and CEO of My Smile Choices. As a single mother of 3, and all 3 kids needing braces at the same time and having cavities at the same time, I had a very limited budget. So it took me months to shop for dental care because I had to go from dentist to dentist. All the prices varied also, even from state to country. My employer only covered about 20%. So the rest of it came out of pocket. Help, what am I to do? Next slide. So what's a mother to do when it comes to your kids? Well, I became a disruptor. Okay, that's what I did. I created a marketplace, something similar to Amazon or Expedia. So in this dental marketplace, you have the ability to shop for choices and options by zip code. So you put in the date, the zip code, and the treatment. We look at 12 treatments, and you get transparent pricing. You take back control. I mean, why can we shop for anything in the United States, clothing, toothpaste, cars, but we can't shop for dentistry? 77 million people don't have dental coverage in the US. 36% don't even go to the dentist. Medicare, Medicaid, underemployed, unemployed don't have any coverage. We need a marketplace where everyone can go and shop. And also 1.1 million are traveling, US patients are traveling to Mexico. So we need a place to shop. Next slide. So progress and support to date, we're seeking $535,000. This is going to go into our technology build out, which we plan to launch April 24th. Also, we are, because I have traveled for treatment experience and I've traveled the globe, I have 17 countries that we're loading the pricing in. We have over 300 self-funded employers that we're working with to make this employee benefit. So far, we've received $100,000 from Jumpstart. I probably put about $50,000 of my own money into it. We have investors that are very interested in our project. And also, this is not my first rodeo. My last company I IPO'd in less than 5 years. So I had to come out with this company, though. Keep it super, super simple. Next slide. So join me in the breakout room. Here's all my information. And looking forward to speaking with you further. Thanks.
Thanks, Mary. All right, great. Next up, Newgate. Benga is on. You've got the floor.
Perfect. Good morning and good afternoon. My name is Benga Adiko, and I am CEO of Newgate, where our mission is to restore hope one step at a time. Next slide. Imagine you are 24 years old with your entire life ahead of you, and you have an accident, fracture a vertebrae, and are now a paraplegic. This became a reality for Emily DeVoe in late 2015. Now, her story would have ended here had her physical therapist not picked up a device that I developed for athletes and applied it to rehab 6 months later. 6 months later, Emily would have or did achieve her post-surgery goal of running when she completed a 5K. Next slide. After that success story and dozens of others, I pivoted my company from the athletic performance space to the rehab industry. Since then, we have helped all sorts of people with different walking impairments regain some sense of normalcy with the Newgate rehab devices. Next slide. This initial product is our entry point into the $160 billion physical therapy industry. Our current products are already adopted in dozens of top healthcare facilities like Mayo Clinic, the VA, and the Detroit Medical Center. We have over 65 trained rehab professionals throughout the country and have sold over 400 consumer units. We have an active NIH small business grant to redesign a device for stroke survivors, another research project aimed at comparing our device against the standard of care, and 2 additional published case studies. Next slide. We are looking for strategic advisors to help us penetrate the physician market and help Newgate become the standard of care. So who's ready to join me in restoring hope, one step at a time? Thank you.
Great job, Benga. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay, next up, Philly Gautam.
Hey guys, my name is Gautam. Easiest way is like Gautam, and I'm the co-founder CEO of Believe, where our goal is to prevent substance abuse and addiction. I don't think I need to remind everyone about the opioid crisis or a lot of these other drug crises that have happened in the last couple of years or even the last couple of decades. So everyone was affected by it, and same was with us. So we decided to build the easiest way to actually monitor for compliance and prevent abuse. And so what we say is we built hardware, software, and most importantly, human tools to make it easy to manage patient compliance, improve liability protection, and increase revenue. Next slide. And so what we created was the amethyst system. So in mythology, the amethyst gemstone was whenever someone held onto it and they drank, they didn't become intoxicated. So they prevented intoxication, and in the exact same way, which amethyst is also purple. February, my birth month, is also purple. It's the amethyst gemstone. So for all of these people into crystals, but in the same way, if you have Believe solution, the amethyst system, we want to help prevent actually getting addicted and misusing and abusing. So no matter what it is, whether it's texting, mobile app, device, we created a whole suite of tools that does that and matches each patient. So next slide. We've gone through a lot of evidence. So just on text messaging platforms, we have 15 times the ROI, but then we also have about 800 expected patients in some of our studies. For example, this morning I was in Baltimore meeting with Johns Hopkins, and so they're churning through a couple of patients and seeing how our device actually works. In the next quarter, we're actually going to put out one of our first publications, but we've seen increased compliance, pill diversion, and most importantly, not on here, a 92% NPS score. So amazing job on that for our team. And then last slide is just we're looking for any help with understanding how to scale within clinics, because with working with a lot of private pain clinics, we can get a lot of interest, a lot of amazing like, oh, I definitely want to start this today, and they start a few patients, but finding out how to get from a few patients to even more, because even though they have a lot of interest in our system, having the logistics figured out is still where we're struggling with. And so any help with that, but then also expanding the primary care and other disease states, we would love any advice on there. So please hit me up at gchiprolu@believe.com or info@believe.com, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you.
Gautam, thank you so much. Great job. Okay, next up.
Sanitas is radicalizing the way mental health services and support are accessed and delivered for BIPOC populations in this country. One of our clients, for example, is Los Angeles County Hospital. It's the second largest public hospital in America. They see approximately 150,000 people in their ER each year. That's roughly 20% of all ER visits in the country. Unfortunately, the majority of these ER patients are Black or brown, i.e. BIPOC people, either on Medicaid or uninsured. 15 to 20% of these people are there for mental health reasons alone. There's simply a supply and demand problem for mental health services, which is significantly worse in communities of color and underserved populations. That leads to three problems. Next slide, please. One, there's a revolving door for ER visits around mental health needs. Two, there's a waiting room problem. People often wait months, sometimes years, to see a behavioral health specialist, which leads you back to problem number one. Problem number three, there's a lack of culturally competent care in this country. 86% of the therapists in the country are white, 45% of the population is non-white. This is not just a USC Los Angeles problem. There are 6,000 hospitals around the country, and more than 1/3 of them are public hospitals. Medicaid alone spends $300 billion. Medicaid and private insurers spend $300 billion a year trying to address these problems. We at Sanitas have a solution that we believe can alleviate that problem. We provide a moderated system where we provide one, peer-to-peer support groups, text-based coaching, culturally competent therapy. In addition to that, we collect data on all of these conversations and interactions on the platform. We are preventative care by nature. We are trying to solve a problem that addresses the cost savings for both criminal and juvenile justice costs, as well as mental health care costs. Sanitas is here to address some of those problems. In terms of traction, we have $385,000 a year in annualized recurring revenue, and we have pilots with Johns Hopkins Hospital, LIC Hospital, as well as Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles. We're looking to raise $1 million in the form of a safe note to expand our platform both nationally and globally. Thank you for your time.
Right, great job, Rodney. Thank you so much. Okay, next up is Thaddeus Medical Systems. Dr. Steve Scully. Steve, are you on?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Steve Scully. I'm the founder and CEO of Thaddeus Medical. We protect temperature-sensitive specimens and therapeutics in the cold chain because those two products are at the heart of making a diagnosis and part of the essential treatment plan for patients. As a fellow at Mayo Clinic, I learned that in some cases, if a blood draw gets too hot or cold, it can screw up the diagnosis, and that can ruin a patient's life. Temperature excursions also can drastically affect therapeutics, and in some specialty meds like food are perishable after a certain time and can harm patients if they're administered. In short, temperature excursions can have severe consequences on patient health. It also happens to lead to an annual lost revenue of $35 billion every year that gets passed on to patients. So these life-saving products that I'm talking about need better support than cardboard, styrofoam, and ice to protect them. They need a real-time awareness and an action that comes from the battery-powered eye cooler. The eye cooler is about the size of a small carry-on suitcase. It actively controls temperature in real time, and those medical products are always protected, eliminating any spoilage. We're offering it as an on-demand lease to home infusion, specialty pharma, cell and gene therapy manufacturers, and organ transport organizations. Why are we doing this now? Because post-pandemic, the market is accelerating rapidly to almost $1 trillion in 2030. Active packaging has also become a validated space after Cardinal Healthcare just invested $25 million into an inferior technology. And most importantly, with so many medical services moving back to the home, it's really important that telemedicine initiatives are backed up by delivering the highest quality specimens and therapeutics, especially when going to the last mile of rural America where 20% of Americans live. We are a diverse team of experts with decades of experience in portable refrigeration engineering, IoT, healthcare logistics, and operations. And we're working with our connections with McKesson and UPS so that we can ultimately beat the competition, but we can't do this alone. We need your help as we close our pre-seed round for $450,000 for a total of $2 million. This will enable us to finish our hardware modifications, get important certifications, finish our beta pilots, and get closer to launch over the next 6 months. Please join us as we improve patient outcomes with the eye cooler. Thank you, and find out more at thaddeusmed.com or join our breakout room. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Steve. Great job. Okay, next up, Alana with Vita Eats. And Luke, go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Alana, and I'm a registered dietitian and founder of Vita Eats. Meet Connie, a new patient placed on dialysis. I'll never forget when she asked, "How long will I be on treatment?" She thought that dialysis was the treatment that could reverse her kidney damage. Sadly, I had to tell her she was in end-stage kidney failure and the goal of dialysis was to simply keep her alive. Connie's story is one of regret, one I saw every day. There are too many patients like Connie because nutrition education pre-kidney failure is hidden and fragmented. Patients don't have access to dietitians until kidneys fail and it's too late. Next slide. Chronic kidney disease affects 37 million Americans, with the majority not even aware they have it, costing our healthcare system $138 billion annually. Diet-based changes in early stages can have dramatic positive effects on progression and change outcomes for the better, yet the healthcare industry's focus is on late-stage treatment, not prevention. Next slide. That is why I founded Vida Eats. Our process is simple: telehealth connections via phone or video with our RDs to discuss diet interventions and create a custom plan for their needs, delaying the progression of the disease before they reach kidney failure. Our customer reach spans 22 states with the options to license in all 50. Our RDs are already credentialed with Medicare. Our goal by Q4 is to have multiple referral channels, such as large nephrology practices and managed care organizations. Next slide. With your help, we'd greatly appreciate connections with physician groups so we can grow to become their dietitian provider of choice nationwide. Please join us in our breakout room so we can work together to put the focus back on prevention so that patients like Connie can save their kidneys and their lives now before it's too late. Thank you.
Lana, great job. Thank you so much. Okay, next up, Emmanuel with Visram. Emmanuel?
Hello, my name is Emmanuel. I'm the founder of Visram. And we are developing digital signage for hospital staff to update information about their patient care plan. Next slide, please. You must have been to a hospital patient room before and seen a dry erase whiteboard on the wall. High workloads for nurses often make it difficult for the dry erase whiteboard to be updated on time. When this happens, it causes a breakdown in communication between the nurse and their patient. And sometimes it leads to wrong medication being given to a patient. Please, next slide, please. Digital signage, our whiteboard can be integrated with the hospital electronic medical record system to pull essential information to clinical staff and patient areas. Information is pushed to a TV screen and updated in real time. The value our product brings to the patient room is that it reduces workload for patient while providing on-demand information to patient regarding their care plan. Outside the patient room, our signage application can be used to disseminate critical healthcare related information across hospital campus. Our signage application provides users with the flexibility to either create or update existing signage content in a single account and push that content to multiple TV screens across multiple locations. Next slide, please. Our application is developed. We have a few customers that are currently using it, and we are seeking partnership, funding, and potential collaboration as we continue to grow. I'll be happy to take your question during the breakout. Thank you.
All right, great job, Emmanuel. Thank you. Okay, last but certainly not least, Shanna, I know you just joined, so welcome. The floor is yours.
Thanks so much, Doug. Anxiety is the #1 mental health challenge in the US, impacting most people daily and creating a $67 billion market. However, existing solutions today have several major gaps. One, they're neither preventative nor proactive as treatments and often come with unwanted side effects. Two, they don't consider all factors that a person uniquely experiences to trigger anxiety. And three, care is hard to access daily and naturally. What many don't know is that we can fill these gaps today, and that's where Become comes in. I'm Shanna, CEO of Become, where we take an integrative approach toward mental health by delivering proactive and preventative care for anxiety through the science of the gut-brain connection and nutritional psychiatry. We do this in the current state by delivering one-on-one nutrition coaching and supplement subscriptions to get to the root cause of anxious symptoms. Next slide, actually. Our customers like Dawn are already saying that we're helping her in ways other solutions don't even come close to. In the future, as you see on the slide, as we grow towards personalized and precision care and serve customers at scale, we'll be a leader in predictive data for mental health, part of a $5.7 trillion market by 2030. Next slide. Since starting our journey in early 2022, we've already made great strides towards traction, including obtaining over 600 customers, 1,000 mailing list subscribers, $30,000 in revenue to date, and securing America's precision medicine and gut health expert, Dr. Marvin Singh, on our clinical advisory board. We've also been accepted into major accelerators like Jumpstart Foundry and Techstars. Our next steps include launching additional formulations to market, generating more organic customer acquisition through partnerships, and advancing our technology capabilities for AI-backed offering personalization. Our immediate ask of you is to refer any dietitians, nutritionists, or health coaches to us to join our partnership program so we can continue to grow organically. Also, feel free to try our products too. Use code JSF25 at joinbecome.co to get 25% off. We're thrilled for what's ahead. Next slide. And we welcome you to join us as we make mental well-being core to the human experience. Thank you.
Certainly an impressive cohort, awesome founders. Thank you all for joining us today. This was recorded. We'll get all the videos out there. You can obviously visit us at jsf.co anytime as well to look at our portfolio companies, including the impressive 17 that you heard from today. And so with that, if there's any questions that you all have about the cohort, Jumpstart Foundry, investing in the fund, if you're interested in funding from Jumpstart, obviously that application window is open. We'll have a Q&A for investors next week. Certainly grateful for you all spending a couple of hours with us this afternoon, hour and a half, and learning more about the most recent innovations in healthcare that we've invested in. So with that, we'll close up. Hope you have a great rest of the Friday afternoon and an awesome weekend coming up. And thank you all so much for your support. Founders, great job. And we'll sign off.